Hello and welcome to the very first episodes of Guild Wars Players News, the podcast where we take a look at Guild Wars games, series news, and talk about the content on our site, Guild Wars Players. I am Sithrith, and today we have Draculetta.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And we have Anding as a guest who is the lead of the Players Alliance Network.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey, I said that. You can't copy what I said.
I can because nobody answered.
Okay then.
I think he can because he just did. So Andang, tell us about the Players Alliance Network. Guild Wars Players is a part of it, but what else is going on with this network?
Yes, well, the Players Alliance Network was basically started out as just one site, as lotraplayers.com, and basically the whole idea behind the Players Alliance is just to build communities and help promote great content and just have a lot of fun while doing it. And so on Lotro Players, we basically have several podcasts and writers and that sort of thing, covering every part of the game that is there pretty much. And that's kind of our goal with our other two sites, DDO Players and now Guild Wars Players. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and we are super excited about this new site and this new podcast and getting to be on it. So thank you for that opportunity.
Definitely, yeah. I'm really excited to see where this show goes.
Me too. So I am Sithrith, and basically my history with Guild Wars 2 is quite short, actually. I've only been playing a little less than 2 months. And I've never played Guild Wars, but about 2 months ago I saw that there was a free trial of Guild Wars 2, and I figured, yeah, why not? Didn't really expect a whole lot. And then I got sucked down the rabbit hole, and here I am, hosting a Guild Wars 2 podcast. So that's how that happened for me. What about you, Drac?
Well, my history is completely different than yours. I started out, I got invited to the very first beta of Guild Wars.
Wow.
I did all of the betas they had, and it seems like the beta for the first one lasted forever. I forgot how long it was, but it was a long time. And then I played it. I bought all of the expansions that came out because, of course, with the original Guild Wars, they had the expansions that you bought and went through. Finished actually all of those, did all of the quote-unquote endgame content and beat the final boss in all of them, and pretty much finished Guild Wars up to the point where you can say you're finished with Guild Wars because, of course, it never really ends, but the main bosses and stuff end. And then didn't play Guild Wars, and a couple of the friends that I was playing the original Guild Wars with got into Guild Wars 2, and they said it was great, they liked it, and I just didn't get it because, I don't know, I just didn't really want to pay $50, I guess. I guess I'll just be honest. And then a while back, probably, I'm thinking it was around the first of the year, Amazon had it, I want to say, for $20. So I thought, okay, for like $20, I'll pick it up. Picked it up, fell in love with it, and pretty much have played nonstop ever since.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I have been playing quite a bit in these past 2 months. My main character is a Sylvari Mesmer, and in this short amount of time that I've been playing, she is already at cap. So that might give you an idea of, how much I've been playing. What is your current main character, Drac?
My main character is a Norn Ranger who is only at level 35. So I guess I'm slacking in that aspect because if
you are slacking. Yeah. Well, I have a lot of free time, I guess. So, Drac, what do you like? What do you think makes Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2 stand out from other MMOs? Because I know both of us play quite a few MMOs.
The biggest thing that stands out, really, I know Guild Wars 2 really stands out because there's no quest per se.
Right.
And that, I know a lot of first-time players are like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. There's no people giving me quests. Where am I supposed to go? You know, in Guild Wars 2, I like it that you just have the areas that you go explore, and then you have the hearts that you fill in. Those are your quests.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really, really sets it out. And of course, the original Guild Wars, what set it out, not so much now because there's other MMOs that do it currently, but when the original Guild Wars came out, that was one of the first games ever to do the whole instance content. Any dungeon or anything you were in was just you and your party was the only ones that were in there. And that was that I can recall the first time an MMO ever really did that. Now it's pretty much passe because
It's standard.
yeah,
Yeah.
most MMOs will do that now, but that really set the original out in my mind. And that too, and then another thing about the original is you actually could hire henchmen to help you as well, and that was one of the first MMOs I ever played where you could do that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. So that's basically our introduction to the game and the site. Personally, I really like the cosmetic system in Guild Wars 2, which if you watch Lotro Players news or any of my stuff, my YouTube videos, you'll know that that's not surprising in the least bit, because cosmetics are basically what draw me to games, and if an MMO does not have a robust cosmetic system, I will quit. And obviously, Guild Wars 2 is super into cosmetics, so I am super into Guild Wars 2. So yeah, that's introduction. So now on to what is going to be our normal content on this podcast. First up is game news. So first off, there's some news from the official Guild Wars 2 forums. First of all, they are restructuring the forums, which isn't terribly exciting. They're merging some forums into other forums, and they're getting rid of other sub-forums, like they're getting rid of the Black Lion Trading sub-forum. It's not that exciting, but the really exciting news is the announcement about forum specialists. Now, this is kind of interesting. They are going to be accepting applications from players, and they're looking for people who are, I guess, specialists in specific areas of the game, and they are going to be engaging with community, like the general community populace, I guess, and kind of relaying important issues and topics from the players to the ArenaNet staff. It kind of sounds like it's going to work kind of like a player council, but less centralized.
Yeah, it sounds like that in combination with almost like a guild or a fan site where they allow like lower level guild members do this sort of thing, or in a fan site where they allow some of their biggest fans to do that. It sounds like that, but for a game, which I've not heard that really done before. So I'm excited to see how they implement it.
It's also interesting because according to the post on the forums, they are asking for people to be as objective and unbiased as possible and not take into their own personal opinions, which also kind of goes against what you usually see from player councils.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that works out. Each specialist has a 6-month term, so to speak, and they will then have a new round of applications and pick a whole bunch of new people, and there's going to be 25 of them, so it's a sizable amount, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other news, this week we had a new update. The newest episode of Season 2 of The Living World released, Seeds of Truth. I haven't played it because I just started The Living World Episode 1, like today, so I'm behind. And Drac being level 35, I assume.
I was going to say, I'm way behind.
However, the other thing that happened with this update is they included the PvP update that they talked about, I think, last week. Do you know more about that, Drac? I haven't really followed the PvP thing.
Well, I haven't really either. I just saw the news and was reading it because I don't PvP at all, but I know this is a big deal to a lot of players. Basically, what they did is they made some huge, significant improvements to the matchmaking system. and also
Right.
how they the player ranking systems changed as well. So supposedly the rankings now work better than they did, and they're giving players more opportunities to find other players to PvP against that are more of their skill.
Oh, that's nice.
Which, yeah, if that's actually working great, that's a good thing, because I know the only time I ever tried to PvP, I was obviously in a place I should not have been, because I couldn't even get one skill off before I was dead, so I'm like, yeah. And then
Yeah.
the big change is they now have a dishonor system if you leave a match early. I know
That's kind of nice.
yeah, for a while that was a big problem where people were just in matches and then, they were obviously losing, so they just like quit out of the match and nothing happened. Now you get some penalties for doing that.
That seems pretty fair. So there's also a couple new things released with this update. Now you can customize your mail carrier, which sounds kind of weird, but like if you look carefully when you get mail in game, you'll notice like a little dove. I thought it was a dove, but apparently it's a pigeon, which I guess makes more sense. But a little pigeon like flies in front of your character and like gives you a little envelope. It's a really little tiny animation. It only lasts like 2 or 3 seconds, but now they've added customization for that. In the gem store, you can purchase a griffin who will replace the pigeon to come and give you mail. It's a really little thing, but it's kind of cute. It seems the game's all about, customization of characters, so I think it fits. I don't know if I'd spend gems on it, but it's cool, I guess. Whatever. Another change they made was salvage kit highlights. Before this update, you'd click on your salvage tools, and then the things that you could salvage and recycle would show up it would have like a light blue screen over it, and then after clicking one item to recycle, that film or that screen or whatever would disappear. And people were complaining on the forums about how it's really hard because, obviously when you have a whole bunch of stuff you want to recycle, you're going to have to click again and click again and click again to see which items you can salvage, which you can't. And also apparently the blue color was kind of making it hard to see item types, like the rarity of items, because of the color border of the items. So now when you click on a recycled item, you click it, and things that you can't recycle get a bright red screen over them and stay that way until you click away from your inventory or click an empty space in your inventory. So it's a lot nicer. I know I've been crafting a lot lately, so that's very handy for me. But yeah, so that's about it for this update. Neither of us can really speak to the story aspect, but I'm sure it's a thing. So also this week, new in the gem store, besides the griffin that I was saying earlier, we've also got a new item called Teleport to Friend, which is kind of exactly what it sounds like. You teleport to a friend. And there's also some new rare home instance gathering nodes and the return of winter-themed armor and dye and outfits to the gem store because it's wintertime, in some parts of the world anyway.
So why do you need a teleport to friend when there's already so many teleports in the game?
With the teleport to friend, you actually are skipping using any of the gates or the waypoints, and you don't have to pay any fees for like the waypoint fees. Basically what this does is you just pop in directly by them. You actually physically teleport to them.
Right. That's not a thing that really exists. You can waypoint, you can use a surrogates, but with this, you don't, like, when you use a waypoint, you have to pay a fee. And in higher level areas, the fee is more, because in theory, you have more money when you're a higher level character. But the other good thing that this is great for is jumping puzzles.
That's true.
For those of us who are who have friends who are not jumping puzzle challenged, this is a great item. Also, just, vistas, any kind of thing where it's trickier to get where you're going, or whatever. I can see its uses.
Okay.
So yeah, that's new stuff in the gem store. And
And
Drek.
did you talk about the new mini pets that are in the store too? I don't.
I kind of glossed over them.
Okay.
There's a mini fawn, a mini puppy, a mini Arctic fox kit. I think that's it.
Mhm.
I assume the like actual Christmassy themed ones, like the Christmas light, mini elemental thing, whatever stuff like that, is gonna be closer to the Winter's Day Festival or whatever it's called. But yeah, those are in the store now, and they're adorable because they're mini animals, which are always adorable. Duh. Anyway, Drek, I see that the game itself is also on sale.
It is through December 7th. So as of this recording, you have 3 more days. We are recording this on December the 4th. So you have until December 7th to save 50% off of Guild Wars 2. And that is directly from the Guild Wars 2 website. You can just click on the link in our show notes and it'll take you directly to that. And you can download it and enjoy Guild Wars 2 with the rest of us.
Yeah,
And
and
I
there's no
think that this
subscription
is,
fee.
yeah, and I think since this is going to bring in, this podcast is going to be, a lot of new people to Guild Wars players. Why don't you actually say what the price is at 50% off for those that don't know?
I was just getting around to that. I'm glad you asked. The digital heroic edition is $19.99, and with that you get the base game, a suit of legacy armor, a mithril box, and 10 experience boosters. And for $29.99, you can upgrade yourself to the Digital Deluxe Edition, which includes the base game, the suit of legacy armor, the mithril box, 10 experience boosters, the Summon Mistfire Wolf Elite skill, a little miniature right lock to run around beside you, a Golem Banker, a Chalice of Glory, and a Tome of Influence. So you get
Very exciting.
a few little good goodies, and I know that wolf that you get with that is a pretty sweet looking little wolf pet to help you fight. Yeah, I kind of wishing I would have bought the deluxe edition when I first bought it, but I didn't. I just got the heroic.
Well, actually, Drek, right now, also in the gem store, since you just said that you would like to upgrade, kind of, you can actually, in the gem store, if you bought the heroic edition, the base edition, currently it is 50% off in the gem store to upgrade to the deluxe edition. So it's 1,000 gems.
Really?
And you'll get all those things. Yeah, you get all those things that you missed out on. If you bought the heroic edition. I don't know how much time is left until it goes back up to 2,000 gems, which is the normal price. But right now, it is only 1,000. So that's nice.
Guess I'm going to the gem store and checking that out then.
You definitely should. All right. So I think that's about it for general game news. So now on to news from our site, Guild Wars Players. Obviously, we haven't had a whole lot on the site yet since we just started up. I have posted some cosmetic guide videos. If you are, like me, very taken with the cosmetic system. If you're a new player, these guys will probably help you out a lot, because it did take me a little while to kind of get used to the cosmetic system. I have a guide on how to use the dye panel and how to use dyes, a guide on how to use the outfit panel and acquiring outfits, the wardrobe panel, which is really the meat of the Guild Wars 2 cosmetic system, how to change how your armor looks, and also a guide on the total makeover kit item, which you can get in the gem store. We're really pushing the gem store in this episode, but it is really an awesome item. You can totally, completely change how your character looks. You can even change the gender. It's pretty cool. So watch those videos if you're new to the game and needing some assistance in the cosmetic department. We also have a video spotlight of a Shade Warband RP Guild promo video. Drek, do you have anything to say about this video? Did you watch it?
I will be honest and say no, I did not watch it yet.
Oh, Drek. Okay.
I know. I fail.
Fair enough.
Fail. Epic fail.
Fair enough. It's a pretty short video. Even people who aren't looking for an RP guild, especially like a char RP guild, I don't know if anybody's looking for that. Even if you're not interested in any of this, that stuff. This is a really, really well done video. I don't know if someone used a Char voice changer, like some kind of editing thing, and they did it, or they just did it with their own voice and they like made the really deep, grumbly Char voice. But it's like fully voice acted. They've got really good editing and cinematics for this Ash Legion Char Guild warband thing. It's really good, so you should watch it. I'm disappointed that you didn't.
I just have to say, you have to be a hardcore role player if you're going to play a Char.
Oh yeah, that's intense. Especially if you're down to picking, you're a Char, you know what Legion you're in, you have a very specific warband that you're going to play with.
Yeah, exactly. That's hats off to you if you're role playing that way.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. So, good job on the video. That's really cool. I'm impressed. I wouldn't be able to do that. So this week, another thing that we're going to be doing every week is community outfits called the Weekly Outfit. So this week, Brandhild sent in an outfit of their Norn Elementalist Brennet. The link will be in the show notes so you can see this lovely outfit. It is a very nice light armor, kind of autumn-toned outfit. It's all kind of not poofy, but dressy, because let's face it, all the light armor for females in this game is kind of poofy and dressy. And Brandhild says, I am sending you my simple outfit for you to look over. I am still early to the game and figuring things out. I still have not figured out all the cosmetics and costs, but at least Brennet has some leggings now, though this outfit does not allow her to show off her tattoos. She chose complementary colors. And it is a very lovely outfit, and I think it fits this time of year quite nicely. And if you would like your outfit featured on Guild Wars Players and talked about on Guild Wars Players News, you can send us an email at contact@guildwarsplayers.com with the subject line Weekly Outfit. I would love to see your outfits because I love seeing outfits. So please send me outfits. Anyway, so next we have our lore book section. And this is where we're going to be taking a look at places, characters, races, artifacts, etc., and kind of examine the lore surrounding it and why it's important to our gameplay. Because I think, with a game like Lord of the Rings Online, everybody knows that story. It's not hard to figure out where you fit into that. But with a game like Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars where you have to, figure it out more yourself, I figured people might need a little bit more education. I certainly had to do a lot of research. So, Drac, why don't you tell us about the Elder Dragons?
Well, they are a force of nature on Tyria that feeds off the magic on or inside the planet. When there is a buildup of too much magic, they wake up, destroy everything, and then, as dragons tend to do, go back to sleep. The Elder Dragons have been responsible for driving the Asura from their original underground life, the migration of the Norn to the south, the raising of ore from the depths of the ocean, migration of the deep-sea Quaggan to Tyria, and the Dragon Brand in Ascalon. There are currently 6 known Elder Dragons. That is Primordius, Jormog,
Kralkator.
Sure, that's the word. Zayatan, Mordamoth, which is the greatest name ever, and the Ocean Dragon we don't know the name of yet, but we definitely know there's a dragon out there in the ocean. And
they're somewhere.
The Elder Dragons do tend to corrupt others to create an army to help them basically destroy everything, because that's what dragons do.
That is what dragons do, indeed. So, do you do anything related to dragons this week in game, Drac?
Not related to dragons, per se. Well, kind of, maybe.
Well, kind of everything we do is related to dragons in some way.
I think eventually what I did will probably go to a dragon, I'm assuming. My main, which of course is my Norn Ranger, got to level 35, and I finally got around to running the Ascalonian Catacombs dungeon as part of my personal story. I was going to actually run it with you, and I just logged in one night. and popped up the looking for group panel, and I noticed there was a group that was doing it in story mode, so I thought, I'll try this out. And lo and behold, I got in the group and we ran that. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd like to do it again because the group I was with, I could tell they've done it many, many times before because they basically just zerged through everything.
Yep.
So I kind of missed a lot. I'd like to go back in, but it was
Definitely
pretty challenging even in story mode. I can't imagine what that dungeon's like in the exploration mode because from what I've heard, story mode is a lot easier. So I can't imagine what the exploration mode of that dungeon would be like, and that was the first time I actually ran a dungeon in Guild Wars 2, so that was kind of fun. And my Necro is up to level 21 now. I'm just basically going through, trying to get to the next stage where I can do more personal story. And my Elementalist is up to level 18. And that is my Assuran. And of course, I'm going to have
Felicia Daytime.
That's right. My goal in the show is every week to work in a mention to Felicia Day. So this week's mention of Miss Day is the only reason why I have an Asura is because when I first started playing, I found out she voices one of the characters in the personal story for the Asura. So that is why I created one. So there you go. There is the Felicia Day reference of the day.
Good one.
So next week I'll have to come up with something else. It will happen.
Drac, I think everyone has either a lot higher or lower opinion.
Probably.
One of the two.
They definitely have an opinion.
And my engineer, I got to level 4, so I haven't done much with that yet, but I'm enjoying it so far. Don't really have many skills yet, but I can see it's going to be a fun class to play.
Oh yeah. My engineer's only I think level 13, 14 now. And yeah, not a whole lot of skills yet, but it's getting pretty cool, I have to say. This week, I didn't get my Mesmer to level 80 this week, but the week before, but close enough. And I ran my first Fractals of the Mists run, which is kind of like a high-level dungeon thing. It's like it's a weird series of instances where like every time you enter, it chooses a random. There's like 4 pieces, and it picks one at random to start with. And that's pretty cool, but like you were saying with your Ascalonian Catacombs run, I was with people who already knew what they were doing, and we just kind of steamrolled through the whole thing. I didn't get to watch any cutscenes, which always makes me grumpy, because I really, want to know what's happening. Why am I doing this? And it was really cool, and it was really interesting. It was really challenging. There's some really interesting mechanics. I don't want to spoil it too much, because I know you haven't obviously gotten there yet, and I don't know, some people might care. But it's pretty cool. But yeah, it'll be nice once you get to Cap so that we can find a group who will not just steamroll through the whole thing. So it seems like everybody who does instances does that for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's frustrating. But I've also been leveling my Elementalist, and he is level 33 now, and I'm loving my Elementalist. I've also been crafting, which is kind of boring. I don't like crafting, but I'm doing it for science, just so I can learn the game more.
Better you than me. I cannot get into the crafting in this game at all. It is just
I'm not a fan.
Insane. It is just insane grind.
It really is. The way I'm doing it with my Elementalist, it's not quite so bad because I'm leveling and doing crafting at the same time. So I'll go out, I'll do questing, hearts and vistas and exploration stuff, and gather at the same time. Go back to town, craft through all the resources I have, and then keep going. So I'm gathering and exploring at the same time. So it's not quite as bad, but it is still terrible. I'm not super big into crafting in MMOs generally anyway. But oh my gosh, it's so tedious in this game. But I just feel compelled to do it, to just figure it out. But it sucks. And also this week what else did I do? Oh, I bought the first 3 episodes of Season 2 of The Living World because I think we're getting to the end of Season 2, so I better get on that and actually buy them so that I can play through them before it, does whatever. Turns off, I don't know. I know we can't obviously do Season 1 now, but I don't know if Season 2 will just get shut off like Season 1 did. We'll see, I guess. I also played with Anding today. What did we do today? In game today, Anding?
Well, we did a lot of things, including throwing snow at children, trying to kill them, because that's always
weren't
fun.
trying to kill them.
Well,
You
weren't.
wanted.
Okay,
wanted to kill
fair
them.
enough. So yeah, we did have a lot of fun leveling up various things this week. And basically just going through the low-level content on my Necromancer.
Yeah,
And
you're big into your answer.
I am. I really am enjoying it. The skills are a lot of fun. Not a fan of the staff skills, but the axe skills are amazing. Also, cosmetic system is crazy in this game. Somehow I created like a Megazord from Power Rangers. I didn't mean to do this. This was not a goal that I set in, but it happened. So I guess that's good.
So you're rolling with it.
I do have to say though, I really am enjoying Guild Wars 2 a lot. If I wasn't already invested in several other MMOs, this would be my MMO. It's a lot of fun, and I think particularly the progression system in this game is really addicting because the levels, it doesn't continually like grow to like these huge XP pools, and it takes forever to get to the next level once you're at high levels. It's just continually quick leveling, and that's just really addicting, I think. And I could play this game all day long just because of how addicting leveling is.
Another thing to add too that about the leveling I like too is you can always, even if you're say level 50, you can go back to any other zone you want if you have a friend or whatever that's playing, and it will auto level you down, but you still get experience even though you're in a lower area because the game automatically scales you down, and it works wonderfully.
Yeah,
It
and you
does. They did a
still
really good
are
job with that.
you still feel a bit more powerful because I think it keeps you 1 or 2 levels above. And so I like how you still have that balance between you're powerful, but you're not so powerful that there's no challenge left. So
Right. It can still be a challenge if you get yourself in over your head.
And so I really do like that. So yeah, overall I think Guild Wars 2 is a fantastic game and is honestly the best MMO that I have tried from a mechanics point of view, I think. It's just a lot of fun to play, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters in the game. So I really enjoy it.
Since we are a brand new site, we are still looking to build our ranks. We would love to have more content creators that are passionate about the Guild Wars game series, whether you write articles or fan fiction, make videos, or create fan art, or want to join us on the podcast. Whether you're new to the games or you're a longtime veteran, we would love to have your help contributing to the Guild Wars Players community. You can send in your sample content to contact@guildwarsplayers.com. Please include the name you will wish to go by on the site, whatever content type it is that you're looking to contribute, and anything else you wish to include that you think is needed.
Yes, so donations. We would like to give a big thanks to Flossin? I'm not sure which it is.
I say Flossin, but
maybe he'll tell us one day. And Gump Gang for donating to the Players Alliance Network Patreon campaign. Without your support, this podcast would not be happening right now. So thank you very much for that. If you would like to help support Guild Wars players and the Players Alliance Network generally, simply go to the donation page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon, and you will find rewards including a mention, or you could even be a guest on this very podcast. This week we have not received any feedback because this is the first episode, so why would we have any feedback? That doesn't make any sense. We also have no reviews, comments, or emails, but if you would like to contact us, we would love to hear from you. You can contact us at podcast@guildwarsplayers.com, and we would love to hear from you, whether you have questions or a discussion topic you would like for us to cover or whatever. Send it on in, and we will talk about it. You can follow all of us on Twitter. You can follow the Players Alliance at Players Ally on Twitter. You can follow Guild Wars Players at GW Players. You can follow me at Sithrith, and you can follow Draculetta at Draculetta_72. And you can follow Ending at PVMP_Ending. In-game, I am Sithrith.6741. Yes, 6741. And Draculetta is Draculetta.7410. So that is it for our show. You can follow all the Players Alliance live shows. Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is the DDO Players News. Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is this show, Guild Wars Players News. And Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is Lotro Players News. You can join all of our live shows from guildwarsplayers.com/live, or if you are currently watching live, it's the same link you are currently at. So that is about it. Thank you very much for listening to our very first episode. We hope to see you around in the weeks to come, and we'll generally see you around the internet.